Straight ahead on CCX News, diversity at the head of the class. How Osseo area schools are trying to recruit teachers that mirror its student body. Plus, an update on that school threat that forced a lockdown of 2 Brooklyn Park schools. Why police say it's linked to other threats. But first, a big jobs announcement impacting Brooklyn Park. What city officials are saying. CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. About 2,500 new jobs could soon be coming to Brooklyn Park thanks to a mystery company that's proposing to build a massive warehouse facility. Scannell Properties plans to build a 2.6 million square foot fulfillment center in an open field along Highway 169 next to the Twin Cities corn maze. Planning documents refer to the development as Project Hotdish. Brooklyn Park officials haven't been told the name of the tenant that plans to occupy the building, but they do know it's an online retailer. If the city approves the project, the company would be the second largest employer in Brooklyn Park behind Target.
That brings jobs to the community and also some spin-off effects, adding more retail and restaurants, things that our residents ask for. So that's kind of exciting.
The city's planning commission will review the plans at a public hearing on October 8th. The developer hopes to break ground in the spring and hopes to open in 2020. Police now have more information about what led to the lockdown at Park Center and Brooklyn Middle Schools on Thursday. Brooklyn Park police put both schools on lockdown for about 2 hours after 2 calls were made to the police station threatening Park Center High School. Police say they identified the number and that the phone number is not local and it has been linked to other national complaints of harassment and pranks. The case remains under investigation as police try to determine who made the calls. Education, excellence, and equity. Part 4 of our series, A Dialogue on Diversity, looks at the 5th largest school district in the state. Osseo Area Schools is focusing on ways to recruit a more diverse teaching staff. Nearly 55% of Osseo students are students of color, while only 7% of its staff are teachers of color. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us what the district is doing.
The Osseo School District prides itself on giving students what they need to be successful, but they admit they could do a much better job when it comes to recruiting staff who are more reflective of the students they serve.
You know, we're keeping a race on the table and we're focusing on what our students need. That for me was encouraging.
DANTE Williams is the recruiting and retention specialist for the district. He's also a former student. He says it's one of the reasons he took the job.
I would have liked to have seen, an educator that looked like me and as a role model.
Williams could be onto something. Studies suggest the achievement gap can be reduced if there are educators who look like the students they are teaching.
I think it's vital, right, for the academic experience. I think that there's this natural, humanistic rapport that a person has when they see someone that comes from a similar life experience.
Are you all just coloring?
The district has several initiatives to recruit more teachers of color.
Yes. Hi.
One includes encouraging current students to become educators.
I mainly supervise and I interact with the kids in different rooms doing different activities. Am I a vegetable? No.
Student Katrina Lee worked at the Kid Stop program this summer and got a taste of what it's like to be a teacher.
You get to build really good relationships with all of them, and you get to see them grow and learn how to take on their own responsibilities. Did you draw this?
And although she wants to go into the medical field, Katrina is not ruling out teaching.
There. Yeah. Ah!
The Osseo senior is Vietnamese and says diversity does make a difference.
A lot of the kids do ask a lot of questions about my background, and I find it kind of fun to just tell them about it so they learn something new about a different culture and learn how to appreciate that.
So that's huge. And that's what sovereignty looks like.
The district also teamed up with Metro State to make it easier to recruit diverse teachers. Under the program, student teachers get paid while they're doing their 12 to 15-week internship. Osseo area schools also recently launched a Teachers of Color mentoring program.
We're taking current teachers of color in the district and pairing them with mentees who are just coming in.
The goal is to inspire and prepare the next generation of educators.
It's a great opportunity to make impact in the lives of people overall.
In Osseo, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The Teachers Mentoring Program kicked off August 24th, and there are 25 mentees and 12 mentors in the group. Voters will be electing a new face to the state legislature in District 40B, which represents Brooklyn Center and part of Brooklyn Park. The two candidates, Samantha Vang and Robert Marvin, have had the opportunity to talk about their ideas in two forums held this week. One point where they disagreed is in how to fund the repair of roads and bridges over the next 10 years.
Governor Mark Dayton has maintained that a gas tax or licensee tap fees are some of the key components of how we can continue to build revenue to fund our transportation system without sacrificing funding that could be prioritized for education or healthcare and such.
I don't think that we need to raise taxes to fund these things. One of the things that Minnesota doesn't really have a revenue problem. They've got a spending problem. There's all kinds of options as far as getting money for roads and bridges.
You can watch Vang and Marvin talk about the issues like free all-day kindergarten and protecting natural resources on Thursday night's forum. Both of this week's forums are on demand on our website, ccxmedia.org. September is National Suicide Prevention Month, and two local women have teamed up to host an event this weekend to help out the cause. On Saturday, COPPERWING Distillery in St. Louis Park will play host to Shout Out Loud, an inaugural charity event aimed at suicide prevention and resource awareness. The event will feature live music, food trucks, guest speakers, and a variety of mental health resources. Dr. Lisa Herman of Maple Grove helped organize the event. She says it will not only fund suicide prevention and treatment programs, but encourage people to open up and talk to others about mental health.
This is something that we all need to be mindful of, and we want people to walk away knowing that they can talk about this. They can talk about it with their kids, with their family. There's a way to do that where it makes sense and it doesn't scare people.
All proceeds will benefit the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI, and Canvas Health. The event is Saturday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Still ahead, don't pack away the camping gear just yet. See how fall can be just as enjoyable as summer to get out and pitch a tent. Plus, the Armstrong boys soccer team shoots for a win against Anoka. But first, a hot, steamy weekend. On Sunday, we could reach 90 degrees. Camping is usually viewed as a summer activity, but can also be popular in the fall. We get more now from Eric Nelson.
You know, with the weather this week being this swell, we're looking forward to a good fall.
Labor Day is in the rearview mirror, and summer is almost history.
In my opinion, it's the best time of the year to go camping.
But that doesn't mean it's time to put away your tent. At the KOA campground in Maple Grove, they are still near capacity.
This is my favorite month in Minnesota.
The campground is chock full of Airstreams, campers, and RVs.
Now we have someone here from Hawaii who's camping here. We get a lot of people from Canada. We've actually had people from overseas in Germany come over and camp here as well.
Some visitors are just passing through, while others are sticking around to chill out and check out the Twin Cities.
Mosquitoes are low right now because of the cooler temperatures. Right now I think it's probably the best time of the year because you get the leaves changing colors and everything. And then I always like the cooler nights, you know, you open your windows in the campers and everything like that. You're not relying on air conditioning and everything like that.
These crackling days of fall have a magnetic tug on campers. The combination of mild weather and crisp nights are tough to top.
We usually take a trip in September.
Dennis and Linda Ulrich brought their shiny new Airstream.
The thing has some incredible features.
To the Northwest Burbs for a stop on their way to Door County, Wisconsin.
September's the best.
They love fall camping and are impressed with the area.
Probably we'll come back to Maple Grove and Plymouth and this area. It's kind of nice.
This KOA has been around for over 4 decades. It definitely has a throwback feel. When it opened, things like this were popular, the payphone. Even the main office is old school, with a 1960s A-frame design.
We offer a variety of family activities for adults as well as kids.
This KOA is family friendly and also has a mini golf course. It's one of the few campgrounds that has not been swallowed up by suburban sprawl in the Twin Cities.
They're really more like small oases in the Twin Cities area.
The KOA is a getaway, but is also close to Maple Grove's restaurants and stores.
If you want to get away and just have that rustic feel, or if you want to go into town, I mean, Walmart's only 3 miles away from us. So.
In Maple Grove, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
The KOA in Maple Grove is open until mid-October. Later in the show, we give you a front row seat to the Yellow Tree Theater's latest play, The Miracle Worker. But first, the girls' soccer team at Champlin Park is piling up the wins so far this season. John Jacobson has their story up next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. After back-to-back shutout losses to Section 6 AA foes St. Louis Park and Minneapolis Southwest, the Armstrong boys soccer team was looking for a better result when they stepped back into Northwest Suburban Conference play. The Falcons hosting Anoka Thursday. Less than a minute into the game, Armstrong's Michael Arell threads a nice ball to Joseph Feinboy, and he controls it and tucks it in on the short side for a 1-0 Falcons lead. Late in the first half, Arell chips another good pass for Nolan Fry. His shot off the post and in, and Armstrong has a 2-0 lead. Second half, Falcons goalkeeper Bennett Shy booms the free kick. This will go off the keeper's hands and in to make it 3-0 Armstrong. That's the final as Armstrong wins it over Anoka. Champlin Park's girls soccer team shut out Irondale Thursday to improve their season's record to 7-0. The Rebels are ranked this week in the state, and they're excited about their fast start. The Champlin Park girls soccer team posted a winning record in 2017 for the first time in over a decade. This fall, the Rebels have picked off right where they left off.
As being on varsity since my freshman year, we haven't started off like this and as long as I've been on the team, so it feels amazing as a senior to make it our year.
It's so exciting. It's like the best we've done in a long time. I don't even know the stats on that, but it's been a great start for us, and I just am so excited for the games to come.
Key wins so far for Champlin Park include victories over last year's section finalists, Maple Grove and Centennial. While those are big, Rebels say they are staying grounded.
It's been really fun, but our coach has kind of kept a minimum on the celebration because she doesn't want us getting in over our heads and stuff.
Senior forward Alex Lotz leads the Rebels with 13 goals. But it's not just scoring. Champlin Park has allowed just 2 goals all season.
We've really been working on possession this year, so we've been trying to break out of the final third and into the counterattack, and I think we've really accomplished that this year so far.
Everybody is moving like on and off the ball, and there's just a lot of communication that goes on, and we work on that.
The Rebels are shooting for both conference and section championships this fall. Both would be a first in the 26-year history of the program.
We talk about it, but we try not to get too cocky about it or anything.
The Rebels put their unbeaten record on the line Saturday afternoon at Armstrong. Like the Champlin Park girls soccer team, the Rebels volleyball team is still unbeaten so far. In fact, the Rebels are ranked first in Class 3A. Champlin Park looking to improve to 11-0 on the season when they hosted Blaine. Nice dig on the ball by Caitlin Weimer-Skirch, passing it to Izzy Ashburn, who sets up Emma Schmidt for the kill, and the Rebels lead in the first set 11-2. Weimer-Skirch with some great serves in the opening set, including that ace, part of a 15-0 run for Champlin Park. Ashburn sets up Sammy Hilly in the middle for a big swing and kill. Rebels win the first set 25-6. Second set, Ashburn and Hilly get up for the block on the Bengals attack, and Champlin Park again builds a big lead. Lauren Clark with a dig, and then it's Ashburn setting to Holly Blaska for a kill. Champlin Park wins the second set 25-10. Junior Jordan Stalpas recorded 8 kills just in the third set alone. Champlin Park sweeps Blaine. They are 11-0 and have yet to lose a set this season. Champlin Park does have a big match coming up Tuesday. They play at Lakeville North, the team that won the state tournament last year. That's all for sports. Shannon, back to you.
All right, thank you, John. In Local Vote 2018, today we wrap up hearing from candidates who are running for a seat on the Osseo School Board. Today's candidate statement is from David Dostal.
Hello, my name is David Dostal, and I'm running for Osseo Area Schools District 279 School Board. Our school district is facing some tough challenges, including student enrollment and school capacity challenges, differences in student achievement across the district, and a superintendent search that is dragging into its second year. As a father of 3 young kids who attend Osseo Area Schools, I am committed and invested in the continued success of our district and its students. I believe my background and experience in the military and public sectors, in the business world, and as a parent will bring to our school board the perspective and judgment it requires to address the difficult challenges we face. If you'd like to find out more about me, please visit daviddostelforschoolboard.com. I look forward to receiving your vote in November.
And there is one other candidate on the ballot for Osseo School Board, and his name is Dan Hobart. Up next, the inspiring true story of Helen Keller. It's an American classic now on stage at the Yellow Tree Theater in Osseo. We will take you there up next. And finally, Yellow Tree Theater in Osseo kicks off its 11th year with a show that has stood the test of time. Neil Persley has more in today's Weekend Showcase.
The play's been around for a while, 60 years. When Jessica and Jason asked me to direct The Miracle Worker, I was excited because it was one of those sort of seminal films that I watched in my youth, and it stuck with me. I think I was 5 years old when I saw it in the mid-60s, and that incredibly powerful story stuck with me. I never forgot it.
The story of The Miracle Worker is the true life tale of Annie Sullivan's struggle to teach the blind and deaf Helen Keller to communicate.
I watched some videos to get an idea about Annie and Helen's relationship and what it is to do finger spelling really quickly.
D-O-L-L.
The play takes place in 1887, around the time Helen was 7 years old. Up until then, her parents had spoiled her and taught her no discipline. So as a child, she was prone to outbursts and wild tantrums.
The role was definitely a challenge. I mean, from learning like the letters of sign language and being blind and deaf.
The Kellers called Annie Sullivan to come down to Alabama from Boston in a last-ditch effort to try to break through to their child. The family was at its wit's end, and this was the final chance before they considered institutionalizing Helen.
And I feel like every member of that family is just yearning to be heard and to be seen. And finally, through their child, who happens to be blind and deaf, the miracle happens for the whole family.
COYLE does an expert job of directing this challenging piece of theater, and everything from the casting to the set and the lighting is just perfect. From Yellow Tree Theater in Osseo, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Sorry, Miss Annie.
The Miracle Worker is on stage now through October 14th at Yellow Tree Theater in Osseo. They always do a good job over there. That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a good weekend.